Okay, I'm going to show as quick a video as I can here of why Grasshopper parametric modeling and scripting is so much better than working in CAD, even though you should have a good knowledge of CAD while you're doing this. There's one model, there's one iteration my kids pulled out of my script. Here's another iteration of one pulling out of the exact same script. A lot of these don't make sense, but here's another one. Take a little bit to load because I'm over into render mode. There we go. Another one. Kind of fun. Having fun with the flashing and everything over the roll bars. Um, Maybe I'll leave the past ones on just so it's of interest. Takes a few minutes to load, so just bear with us. There's the next one. I'll load up the next one while you're looking at that one. Obviously, the cover will be transparent and in there. Sometimes this is closed, sometimes it's open. I've got to take off the past one. There's another design. It would be nice to see these transparent, so maybe shaded might be the way to go, but you can't swap out of here. Um, or maybe even wireframe might work, but nah, you're not going to see it. Ghosted might be the best way to go, and you can kind of get a sense of what's on the inside. Keep the turntable running. Um, but this is it. I may pull these into like a series of videos to look at. The next one, well, that one, you can see there's an engine back here with the tanks, the chains, and the mud flaps and all that. I pulled about 30, and I don't want to overlap them. There's the next design. You see how it subtly changes. Um, I'll just let it spin a bit, and then you can kind of see the design to each one of these. Like I said, one on top of it. There's one that's open, so that's kind of cool. You can take a look in there and see that there's steering wheels, and obviously it's popped up through the roof. So there's a problem. All the engine's been brought up here. The fuel tank's coming through the canopy on the back. The mud flaps don't even match the single wheel, so that's kind of a cool design. Um, We'll see what's next. Really, just play with the sliders in a very large script, and you're left with all these different designs. Which is why just from one script, how you can change everything. And I'm only playing with the surface on these first few, and then I have already downloaded probably 30 more additional to these, and sometimes they're subtly very close to the same, and I'm just playing with them in different wrap ups as the canopy on the outside, but you don't know, and I'm not even really getting into the wheels or the chassis. Here's a long piece, kind of a Superman car, so it's kind of flying around. I didn't mean to zoom out so much. Maybe I'll take the turntable off and zoom in on my standard. But there we go. You got a pretty cool one that's flying out in the back. Oh, and it's actually open, so you can see in. You get the steering wheel. Once again, it's kind of crammed through the roof, so you have to adjust that. Get a sense of how the door turns and spins open. The fuel tank's back here. Underneath, you've got you get the rear suspension. You got this front suspension, which I might be able to see. Yeah, front suspension's there as well. So really nice little fun designs. Just zoom them in here, and we'll load up the next one as we're waiting. See what design this is on top of that one. It just takes a minute, so I just leave the other one on. Yeah, there's a cute little one. Probably the first little fish design that I made. I like the way these folding blankets kind of ripple and blow in the wind behind it. I'm pretty excited about this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to look at. If you want to know how long I'm going to run this video, there's one that I've just billeted out a little bit more. Really nice folding lines, nice surfaces, very simple to make. There's a nice one that has a nice interior. You can actually see the seat and going in, and the caps up on the front. Very nice. Let's see what this one has. Maybe a different design. Yeah, a little bit of a scoop and a wind there. Not so aerodynamic, but I was kind of thinking, just inspired by what the folds ended up doing in the wind. So there's a trike of sorts as it's brought out. A little pretty cool mud flaps on the sides, a little suspension there in the back. Once you build the script, you just play with it. I don't even know where the fuel tank went. It went back inside underneath. It's probably inside the wheel, so that's not very good. So you got to be a little more sensitive. There's about 5 more to look at. There's one there. So brought the wheels down to just the sine curves that they're made out of. So they're more like caps. So I'll just bring that one up to a full view. There we go. Yeah, nice little design. No real rendering finishes or anything. Just 5 minutes of looking around at these forms and the subtleties of changing them. Open them up. Really like them. And Yeah, I'm just playing with maybe running through the iterations in about 3 different models, maybe 2 even different models. Here's a nice one that I brought the exhaust right out the front, the engine up in front, and I don't know how you'd ever get in there, but I'm starting to think these are more robotic machines that run off of bots and not off actually relying on a person to be in it. Probably be the safest thing also. They're kind of like, to me, just these little kind of desert vehicles and campers that you could live in. Really like the way it looks, and there's nothing militarized about this at all. It's more just like a golf cart that's got wanted to live a little bit. And here's the last one I have, but I have so many more saved as Grasshopper files. So probably about 90 saved as different Grasshopper files with different designs that you can subtly change. But I'm liking this little trike design with the engine up front, and I'll just take that one for a second and put it into render, and you can see it is a fun little unit. And actually, if we take the time to go into artistic, it just takes a little bit to load, but that's it. 5-6 minutes of looking at. Maybe I'll pull over the script for you. I don't think I even have it loaded up, so maybe not. This one's just freezing up as it's going to technical. Whenever you go to technical drawings, the ripples and the folds sometimes make it a little complex, but I like these subtleties here. So I've always liked that. And once you get it into technical mode, you can jump back and forth into, there's your technical drawing of what actually is happening. Very nice design. I'm afraid it would take just as long to load up another one. You can grab your Arctic, which is kind of nice in the snow. My kids always like to play with it when it's in the snow, and I like the pen drawing. Like I said, I would never make so many iterations of this pen drawing. But I've been stuck on cupola carts and cupola wagons and for years, so I thought, this would be a fun one. There's a little X-ray one to show you the interiors, kind of madness of ghosted and a mix of ghosted and wireframe. But there you go. You get your foot pedals, and I don't know how dangerous this thing would be to build, but I'm thinking of it. Might be really fun to grab an iteration and see what happens. Anyway.